Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the GEW session, which is focused on venture capital and new emerging funds. We're just waiting for our colleague Marsha from Lofty Venture Capital to jump on the Zoom. So in the interim, we're just gonna play a video that's gonna tell you what to expect in this session. Thank you very much.
Kalau upgrade dulu di bisa
job was from the womb of man.
Yeah, good afternoon again. Sorry, we seem to be having some connectivity or bandwidth issues. The video is not clear. So what we're gonna do while we're waiting for Marsha to jump on the call is probably just like run through the work that the Lofty Foundation or Capital actually does. And then hopefully when the team joins into the call, we'll be able to pick up from there. So there's a couple of slides that I'm just gonna jump through, and then from there, if there's any engagement from the audience, we can pick up from there, right? So thanks for that. Feel free to interject with any comments if you have any throughout the session. Thanks. Yeah, so I guess I can put my screen so that people can see that they're actually talking to a human being. Sometimes people get worried that they're talking to like a robot, you know? So anyway, my name is Moketsi Bekere. As you know, I'm the curator of the Global Entrepreneurship Week in Botswana. We've just kicked off the week since the weekend with the launch from Jonathan in the US. And this event is actually happening in more than 190 countries. So it's not like a Botswana only event, right? If you just jump on Twitter and just put on like GEW 2021, you're just gonna see this is happening in Kosovo. This is happening all over Africa, basically. So people are actually celebrating the entrepreneurs that wake up every morning and go build companies, right? So we obviously as a platform in Botswana have collaborated with Stanbic Bank, which is one of the biggest corporate banks out of the Standard Chartered Group. And we're running a program behind this to spotlight 1 to 8 entrepreneurs. And the idea is very simple. It's for them to go through a series of these connections of platforms like these in terms of where do they actually access, smart capital. Obviously, as well, the idea is to tell the success stories of those that have won. The idea with startups, obviously, is to become successful, and that's the winning part, right? To actually say profitability first. So then the last part, obviously, is as part of startup acceleration or growth of these companies, we hope to leverage the networks among the cohorts that are participating and also among the investors in order to forge a business collaboration. So yeah, so one of our partners that are committed to funding sort of companies that come out of Botswana or Southern Africa is Lofty Capital. And I know Masha personally, and we've got a relationship. We've been connecting since early 2018. And our relationship has been, hey, look, how come there's not been a startup out of Botswana, right? So that's made like the traction. So that's the whole idea why she's been invited, because she thinks like there's something to fund in Botswana. And when I say something to fund, I'm talking about a tech company, right? So yeah, so this is what the session is hoping to do. So we've invited some founders or entrepreneurs into this session just to give them an overlay of, hey, look, what does it take for Lofty Capital to fund you? And obviously, like, look, what is it gonna take for you to become a unicorn, right? It's not an easy, they are the first people to probably fund some of the companies that you know about, like Flutterwave, Andela. They were putting their private money. So there's a storyline behind that. So, and they set up the first angel network in Africa, the Lagos Angel Network. So that says like an amazing story about their work. So I will just basically run through these slides that have been shared with me. Anyone on the chat, if Masha jumps on, please just alert me by raising your hand or just unmuting yourself so that I can jump on to introduce her. Yeah, so I think we spoke about this at the launch this morning, that these top sort of companies that we're advocating for, which are what we call software as a service, or IDEs, or innovation-driven enterprises, or startups, or you can call them early stage ventures, right? They won't be financed by brick and mortar money. Like, forget it if you think like you're gonna build a tech startup and you're gonna get money from a government, or you're gonna get money from like the bank. They don't do that because these things are very risky. These type of businesses are highly risky businesses. But of course, we know like the risk, high risk means possibility, high return, right? So anyone who's built like anything risky in this nature, if you think about like companies in Cape Town, like Air Robotics, that got 100 million rand investment, that's a lot of money. That means that they are not an ordinary business, right? And they were not funded with like traditional money. You can think about Flutterwave, you can think about even Facebook, the story of Facebook, how it was funded. You can think about anything that associates with startups, right? So this is what Lofty Capital actually looks at. And they provide a startup acceleration, and they're operating in Africa. They're not like they're not they are actually based, they do have like their headquarters in the US, but they do have like presence in Africa, in Lagos, but they're not just investing in Lagos alone. They're investing across the 4 tiers. The 4 tiers basically would be your Nigeria, Lagos, Kenya, Cape Town, and Accra, Ghana, you know. So they're actually in all the 5 corners of Africa, including Egypt and Tunisia. So this is where they're actually doing their work. So they're really a Pan-African fund, if you can call them that. I won't read their mission. You can jump on their website and just see that for yourself. So let me just jump on this, you know, the facility platform that shows that what they do. You can see immediately there are 2 angles there, right? On the far left, which may be my right, your right, your left, you look at the word startups, right? So it's very clear the platform that they go for it's a startup. So I don't think we need to jump into like, hey, what's a startup? We're not going to argue about that. You just need to understand like the companies have to have tech in them, right? And then obviously what they also do is they need to be seen as investors. So they're not just going to give you their private money. They expect some sort of return, right? So if you look through that wheel, they show you what they're able to take you through, right? So we can speak about investment readiness and structuring. So they've got a way in which they use a matrix to help you with that. And they can assist you as well with rapid prototyping and digitization, which is not easy, right? It's very expensive, for example, to just come up with a prototype. I mean, I tell you, I've had some startups or entrepreneurs tell me that they went to like corporates, they were told, go and do a POC. And I'm like, that's so funny, right? Like, do you know how expensive it is to go like do a POC as a startup, right? I'm already surviving on noodles, like 365 days, and you are there asking me to go do a POC. That's so funny. So they have got like labs across the world that, or networks that they can leverage, that they can actually help you to take care of that part. Hey, look, how do we make this go live easier and cheaper, basically, right? So that's the whole purpose of what the value that they bring to startups, right? And then obviously like the go-to-market commercialization, like turning that crazy idea into money, right? If you think about like what Marsha shared with me about the story of how they helped Andela, right? So most people don't know this. They know Abu Yeji, yeah, the guy that made the first 2 unicorns in Africa, right? So most of you would know him, Andela and Flat. So what they told me, actually, his first startup, he failed, but nobody ever knew. They lost, that means they lost their money, right? But they were able to bet on him again until he actually like was able to now build Andela differently and make it commercial, and he was able to enter the market. And then when everybody was making the noise about, hey, you know, Africa's next unicorn, Andela, you know, and I remember they were trying to launch even in Botswana, but then the Botswana government was like wasting their time, and then they went and launched this coding center, which could get like jobs for people in the US. They went and launched in Kigali. I know they're now in Kigali. I also know they're in Kenya, right? So this is like what the work that these guys have put in to make that company successful, right? So fundraising, let's talk a bit about fundraising, what they've actually done. Obviously, they will help you and take you from an A to B in terms of your fundraising strategy. You know, it's very hard. I mean, as a startup to raise money. I mean, I have startups in my portfolio that I work with. As I tell you, these guys, they know, like, when you're asking for private people's money, it can take you like 100 meetings before the guy actually says, yeah, here's the first check, right? But with them, it's different, right? If the idea is great, the value is there, they write the check very fast, right? I know this because like I've seen what they do. They're listed as number 4, the best number 4, VC firm in Africa, right? And they've proven it. They've got flagships. I've given them to you. Andela, you know, Flutterwave, they were behind that, right? And when I say they were behind that, they were at the table when the idea was being crafted in a piece of paper. Before there was 100 million, before there was a unicorn, before there was an exit, before there was the whole unicorn, right? So it means they actually provided the business advisory, the support, even the post-funding after that, right? And I know they're in touch with Abu Yeji and all that. But of course, on the angel side, you can see that they work with angel networks, they work with venture capital, ready startups. So the question is for Botswana startups, and this is why I'm running this cohort program 3x3. I think most of the startups don't understand this type of money that they want to get, right? The first thing that you have to get into your head is you have to give away some equity. Like, this is not like, hey, look, give me give me some money, I'm gonna go build, come back later. No, they're gonna manage the business with you. They're gonna run the business with you, right? And they're gonna help you with the post-pilot and proof of concept type of approach to get you to market, right? And they're gonna rapidly scale you, right? This is very important. And I always say this to the startups in our network, like startups should understand their biggest strength is time and speed. Like literally, those are the two assets that you have at your disposal. So if you're building, I mean, I met a guy in Lesotho that building like a fintech, right? Awesome, like they've got the best partnerships in the world, right? Right now, what they need is speed, in my view, right? They've got a great product. They just need somebody to give them a check. And then they move with the speed of lightning to get all the 300 million people in Southern Africa on that platform. And then boom, they're unicorns. Remember, right? It's easy to create a unicorn, right? People think like it's like a complicated thing, right? It's very easy, right? It's just very easy. You just need to calculate your average selling point against a certain number of people that will be buying. And then that tells you you're going to make the $1 billion mark. That's it. That's the definition of a unicorn, if I've got it right. So we can actually get a company out of Botswana to do that. But obviously they can't do it. They need to be exponential. They need to be rapid in what they do, right? But then obviously also what these guys do, they help you on the supply side facilitation, like, right? So the supply side can be the money, it can be the partnerships, it can be the customers, it can be the partnerships. So I think they've got like a very strong system of monitoring if this is actually working for you. And trust me, they wouldn't getting like the best deals in Africa. And that's why I'm probably one of their scouts, right? I scout for them. This is the deal. I go find the best companies for them, and I'm like, hey, look, bring the money, right? And if you meet the criteria, you get the money. It doesn't matter what your ticket size. If you go on their website, right? If you just jump on their website, you're able to quickly see like what they've done and what they're actually doing. And this has been done by Africans, right? Right. So, and we had a call the other day with one of their partners who's based, who's actually setting up his name is Kevin. They're setting up a fund which is going to focus in Angola, Botswana, and Namibia. And they were like, hey, look, where are the companies? I'm like, yeah, I'm working on that. You get the deals before the end of the year, right? And how fast can the check be written? 4 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks. 8 weeks has been long, right? But the idea is great. And if the traction is there, right? And if it meets the minimum entry level, they'll write the check. And you go build, you come back, they'll give you follow-on funding, right? They won't tell you like after they've given you the first seed, hey, look, we need to go look for other money. No, there's money. There's a pool of money, right? Yeah, and of course, there's always an interest like, hey, look, let's incorporate you in the US because we want to protect our investment. I would also do that, right? So here, what you see on the actual graphic is their story in terms of what they've done, you know, in pioneering what you guys see in Nigeria, right? I think I try to play the video to show you what they're doing and what their roadmap looks like, right? You can see from 2010, when the whole bubble of internet platform businesses started, right? That's when they were born, right? The time when Facebook was starting, there was the whole excitement about tech. That's the time they started investing in Africa. If you look at today, 2021, when there is like 3 billion that has been invested in, 3 billion, I'm talking $3 billion. You calculate in your own currency how much that money is. This is people's own private money that has been invested in 2021 alone on tech companies. And when I say tech companies, I'm talking about platform businesses, right? I'm not talking about a guy in Francistown putting a bunch of like worms in a bag and then you come and you tell us that's a startup. No, we don't want people packaging insects, right? We don't want that. This money is not for that, right? It's not for those type of businesses, right? If you want to package insects, yeah, sure, great. That sounds like an awesome business. Yeah, right. But we're looking for somebody that's going to build something scalable, great, and that's going to get like a lot of money, and it's going to give back the return to the investors. So you can see the work that they've done, and that's why the interest is in Botswana currently. Yeah. So so look, who have they worked with and who are they working with? look, AfriLabs, you guys know this, guys. They've just launched their own fund, the biggest syndication of all the incubators and accelerators in Africa, AfriLabs, run by Rebecca and Tommy Davis. You also know USID. You know what they do, right? We're not going to talk about them. I don't know if they're giving money to startups. GIZ, you know, they've just launched Startup Namibia. They're doing something in Kigali with startups. You know, the Lagos Angel Network. What most people don't know is I actually got to meet the founder of Lagos Angel Network in Cape Town a few years ago, right? And through the introduction of the World Bank. And the guy said to me, Moketi, you look like you're doing great. Go set up Botswana's first angel network. So, and I'm the guy that invited Tommy to Botswana and made it happen. So today, when people actually see all this work, they don't know, like, I was the person behind everything. When Alan Boshoen paid with the innovation money to pay for Tommy to come to Botswana to do the capacity building for the angels, right? I was the person that was behind the scenes behind, hey, look, come, let's do it, right? And it happened, and then the president spoke about it. But now we see the work that all these guys are writing checks to companies. That is the power of like global networks, right? That's the impact of Jan, right? But we don't have to go and say we're the ones who did that, right? Because it's all about the ecosystem. So I think we are now looking for the next frontier to attract such VCs to Botswana. But we've got to have like a pool of very good founders and startups, right? I think I have to emphasize this part. The quality is extremely important. Whatever you're building shouldn't be about you and your city in Botswana. It should be about the 54 independent African countries, right? And I think like I want to affiliate with LoftyInc as part of what I want to do, what we are doing, or what we're building in our accelerator and our microfund. Because look, they've done it. Like we can learn a lot from them. They can actually also help us by signing checks. And that's why we're looking for companies in Lesotho. That's why we're looking for companies in Namibia. That's why we're looking for companies in Zambia. Because Botswana is only 2 million people. But of course, you can test your technology here. Sure, great. But then you take it to the next market. That's why you need smart capital. Because there's no bank in Botswana that's going to give you your money and to go test your technology or start up in Zambia. It's risky. They're going to actually arrest you. Like they arrested that guy who was trying to take his business to Zambia the other day. I mean, to Rwanda the other day, right? Because he's taken money from institutional money. You can't do that legally, right? Because the jurisdiction doesn't allow you to do that unless you've proven that you have exhausted the market. But in this sense, with private people's money, this just takes a boardroom meeting that might happen over video. And if all the board members agree, you can scale to any market. And remember, tech doesn't care about borders. Tech doesn't recognize borders, right? You guys need to know that, right? That's why all my friends, I was having coffee with my friend last week, Friday, and she's telling me about this great business she wants to do. And what I said to her is, you do know like there are 4 million cell phones in the hands of Botswana, right? So don't tell me you're looking for an office. Look, just look for somebody to build something on the phone. And you could be sitting in your office and this thing could be making significant amount of money and you could like leave your work, your job to go full-time, focus on what you're doing. But there's a principle of putting profitability first to this because it's not charity, right? So, and I've given you examples of like startups that I've met in Lesotho, in Namibia that I'm working with. And we're looking at raising money for them. Today, I met like 8 great founders this morning. And my job now is to look for like money for them, right? I already have like a bank that's committed a certain check that I can't tell that it's going to be given until the program is launched. But the idea is that we need to make sure this money is meshed with money from angels or VCs, right? So yeah, so this is the idea with what we're doing with this session and what we're talking about. And remember, VC or venture capital is the new baby for financing tech companies. You can do the research on it. If you're building any business and you're wasting your time talking to institutions and so on, you're misaligned. The new instrument for financing any tech company is venture capital money. And in this session, I'm not going to explain what venture capital money is, right? In the simplest sense is venture capital can be broken down in 3 parts. You can have my angels, right? The angels would be people with their private money who syndicate themselves and they put the right checks. At the minimum, currently, from an angel in Africa, you can get between $10,000 to $70,000. We don't expect that to change in the next 3 years, according to Tommy Davis from ABN. The projection is you will definitely get any check size from $10,000 to $70,000. You calculate it in your own currency how much it is. But then if you start, of course, looking for Series A funding and so on, now you start looking for institutional money. This is where you talk to guys like Lofty Capital, because they will easily do a check for $100,000 for you. They can even do much more, right? Up to a certain level, right? And they can do it quite faster at the speed at which nobody can do it, right? And they'll help you with the structure that I've provided, right? So yeah, I think at this juncture, I want to just stop here. I'm sure my authority stops here to allow colleagues to just jump in with any questions they have. And if Marsha is on the call, she can just interject to see if I've given a good explanation of the fund itself and its capacity to assist the bots startup ecosystem, right? Awesome stuff. And yeah, we're just going to keep the website as well. Yeah, so the process is actually quite simple. I mean, even if like the colleagues may have skipped the meeting because they're busy or they just woke up in the US, you probably just go on this website, you make an application, you submit your pitch deck. I'll be able to track it together with them that there's an application that came in, and yeah, and you just can see, look at the fund, right?
I am on the call, Muketsi. Thank you. You've been doing a great job. I apologize. I had my timing off by a few minutes there. Thank you very much for speaking so highly of our fund. We are very similar to one of your startups that started at some point in the past, and we struggled with the goals and the vision and the conviction that we know brilliant entrepreneurs in Africa that deserve to be be entrusted with our personal investments, and we believe, because we believe in what they're trying to accomplish, and we believe that they have the skills and the determination to succeed. And once you share those goals of vision and shared priorities in life, then you just work together with each other, right, to achieve those goals. And we've slowly, you can see how long it's taken us to be able to get to a point where we can attract capital from other people so that they can help us invest in African ventures that they may not know about otherwise. And now we've gotten enough in our fund to where we can expand beyond our original investment core, which was Nigeria. And now we've got 32 approximately ventures in this current fund that are spread around from Egypt to Cameroon. Kevin Simons is on the call too, I believe, and he is far more prepared than I am to compare and contrast the differences between the countries that he sees on a daily basis. He reviews hundreds of these and has a really good grasp of what will work for us and for the businesses in terms of strategy and sector and where the danger zones are that we can work together to overcome. So Kevin, are you on this call now? Muketsi, I can't see all of them. Can you? Oh, no, I don't see him on here yet. Go ahead, Muketsu, and please proceed to introduce us to your aspiring Afropreneurs.
Yeah, sure. Great, Marsha. Thanks a lot for jumping in. I know you just woke up. That's that part of the world. You're welcome. We've had like a very interesting day, right? I know we usually do our calls when you have time. Yeah, so we had a great morning. I mean, this morning I just launched like a very interesting partnership with one of the corporate banks that I sit on the board of the accelerator, and I've handpicked, and when I say handpicked, I actually mean handpicked. I've picked great founders that got solid teams in Botswana. Some of them are in this call, and they need the help, right? They need the help. They're looking for smart capital, right? And I think that like if they were to be like onboarded, they would probably like get like a lot of traction. And obviously, I'm very frank in telling them that I don't think the type of money that's going to finance them is going to be like debt money from the bank. So that's why I invited,
Right.
because I know like you guys get it, you get it. And our last call was like, hey, look, stay away from government. Stay away from government, isn't
Yeah,
it? Right?
yeah,
Stop-
exactly. I've
stop
wasted
those
so
meetings.
much time on trying to get government funding. And then
Yeah.
banks, of course, with lending doesn't work unless you've got a business that has a steady revenue stream. And that's not what startups have. That's why VC works. Because, like say Aboeje, his first venture with us failed. And he came back and apologized, but we just said, that's all right. We believe in your edutech goals and in you as an entrepreneur. So bring back your next idea. But if we had been lenders and he owed us money back, he would have been too busy taking on second jobs instead of, building a new company, right?
He would have been in jail. Like this is Botswana, right? I mean, in Africa.
Oh, that's yeah. And how are you supposed to launch a business while you're in jail? So just it just makes sense. That's why venture capital emerged, during the shipping industry centuries ago. You don't know if that ship's going to sink or not.
Right.
Please
right.
proceed.
Yeah, so I'm gonna open up the floor now. Colleagues, the platform is not, we don't like to keep things formal, like what people in suits. We wanna keep this as open, as engaging as possible. For those in the call, this is a very privileged call. Marsha is not always available. She's jumping into full retirement soon. So, and I've had to fight to have to come in and listen to some of you guys in terms of what you're building and what sort of help you can get from her and the team. And of course, I've had a chat with Kevin. I hope Kevin comes in so that he's able to just pick up from.
Yeah, he said he was going to be on the call. He might have gotten tied up with something. I'll send him a WhatsApp while you're continuing.
Yeah, so let's just jump on. I'm just gonna hand pick. Yeah, I've got Kagiso, I see you're here. Do you wanna maybe kick it off? And Arabang, I think you guys are looking for smart money. So you can just unmute yourself and just like go ahead and just like ask, so this can be as interesting as possible. All right, great stuff.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I have a problem with connection this side. Maybe Tekera, can you please repeat the question again or the comment?
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying we spoke about access to smart money, right? And you guys are building an AI solution. So I think just for Marsha's sake, maybe just give an intro into the work that you guys are doing and the type of check size maybe you guys are looking for. So she can just give you insight in terms of, yeah, does this work or not, right?
Yeah. Okay, so what we have built so far, fine. I'm from Seriti Insights, which is an AI and machine learning startup. I believe we are pioneers of big data analytics in Botswana, because most probably we are the first company to push in that direction. So far we are working with one of the leading insurance companies. We are creating AI and machine learning solutions for them, helping them find value in their data because they curate a lot of data and it's just sitting there. They don't know what to do with it. But we are trying to mine advanced insights that helps in decision making on the daily basis, which also helps in automation, helps in cost savings, and so forth and so forth. Right now, we are also working on a project with JICA, which is the Japanese Japan International Cooperative Agency. So what we are building is an AI-backed platform that initially was designed to fight disinformation and misinformation on social networks. So it takes data from social networks, Twitter and Facebook, and then it tries to and it analyzes it. It's made to learn and understand natural language. What it does is it after understanding the natural language, it gives maybe alerts when there is misinformation that's being spread. But then beyond COVID, it can still be used by brands to measure customer sentiments and also to measure how their ads or campaigns are doing on social platforms. We realize that there is a gap in the market, especially on tools like that. Now that organizations are moving towards digital platforms for their marketing campaigns, we realize that they can't quite track the conversations that is ongoing on the ground, especially conversations that are in Setswana or in our local languages. So we are trying to develop it to learn and understand our indigenous languages and also be able to understand social media lingo or social media slang. In that way, they are able to get the full value and the full insights on what potential customers are saying about them on social platform, because now everyone is running to social media. If I want to complain about maybe poor service, the first thing that I do is I pull out my phone and then I type, service in this restaurant XYZ sucks. So in most cases, enterprises miss out on such information and they end up maybe say they traditionally they would run a market survey once in a while, once in a year or twice in a year. But that doesn't necessarily give them the full picture of what people are saying on the ground, because sometimes people answer these surveys not fully invested in them, or sometimes they just want to fill it out and leave. But with social media, you are in the comfort of your home or wherever, and you are typing this whatever review that you want to give fully. So that platform now what we are trying to upscale it to also learn languages outside of Botswana. That is our future plan, and it will be on a subscription basis. Organizations will be able to open their accounts and then subscribe to certain payment plans, and then they'll be able to search their brand names. For example, Coca-Cola, we just put in Coca-Cola, and then it will give them the measure of sentiments on the ground or within the Botswana market, for example, if they want to limit it to that.
Sorry, just to interject there, so that maybe you can get some feedback. So on a ticket size, I mean, how much?
Yes.
Just in number sense, in simple terms, how much are you currently looking for to get to the next level?
To get to the next level, the initial stages of building and building the prototype and getting it to work at where we are right now, it has we have spent about 400,000 pula. So I think pushing it a bit to upscaling it to be fully optimal, I think we would need maybe around 500 or 600,000 more.
That's about $60,000. Yeah, Masha, over to you. What's your thoughts on this? Or do we get another founder? Okay, let's just jump on another founder. Arabang,
No, that's fine. I'd like to tell you a quote. Just recently, I heard that data is the new oil.
Definitely
data is the new oil, right? That kind of summarizes it, right?
Yes.
But may I have, I'm sorry, I don't see a pitch deck on my visual, and I'm having trouble copying and pasting your name into my notes. Could you just tell me the name of your company, please?
Seriti Insights, SE
SERI
RTI
TI, or was it
space
RTI?
Insight. SERITI. Yeah, Insights.
Okay.
Yes. Insights.
Okay. It's probably in something that that Muketsi has already sent me, but thank you very much. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so 50,000, and you would use. Do you have any? You do have revenues now from JICA?
Yes, we do.
Could you just estimate the cumulative amount of revenue that you have received, say in the last 12 months?
In the last 12 months, we've received around 30,000 US dollars.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And if you receive the $50,000 investment, how much revenue do you think you would be able to get to? What level would that help you get to?
Because now we are trying to move it to, say, Southern Africa. Most of Southern African countries speak Swahili, for example. If we move, then we would add maybe 4 or 5 countries in there. That would mean maybe, and those countries have larger populations as compared to Botswana, so most probably more enterprises and also influencers, because the solution doesn't only target enterprises, but also we are looking at individual. So that would mean maybe we are going to make 5 or 6 times more than what we've been making here in Botswana. So we are looking at maybe 30,000 US dollars times 6 or 7.
Okay, wow. Great, thank you.
That's impressive, right? Really impressive. All right, Al, I'm gonna share your pitch deck with Masha so that we can pick this on a one-to-one if possible with the team. But great insights, yeah, great insights. Masha, do you want to say something?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Just to give a little more insight into value addition that we can bring, I was contacted recently by a woman who would like to work more on the continent, and she has deep networking with the buyers of data, like you mentioned, Coca-Cola and JICA. So it would be a value addition to data analysis and value addition to connect with her, and she can help with introductions. All right, please.
We would appreciate that.
Yes, thank you. Next would be fine.
All right, thanks a lot, Al. Yeah, Richmond, where are you, man? Yeah, Richmond, or Araba, I don't see Araba, I think he lost connection. Is he on the call? Oh yeah, Richmond, do you just want to jump through and summarize in, let's try to keep it at 1 minute, what you're trying to build and what you need.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Hi. My name is Richmond, and I'm the founder of Bantu Vision. And we're currently developing a game, an African-based game. So this game will be launched on mobile. For starters, it's going to be available on both platforms. That's iOS and Android. And currently, we're in need of 50. Sorry, I'm trying to do the currencies probably to US dollars. Yes, we're trying to fund 5,000 US dollars for us to get equipment so that we can actually finish off developing the game. Because the equipment that we currently have, it's a bit lagging because we've taken on a big undertaking. I have a trailer here. I don't know if we have time for it. It's just to show our progress so far.
Yeah, that sounds
I don't
like,
know if I can share this
yeah,
screen.
that sounds like something interesting. Let me just give you access to be able to do that. Yeah, sure. You should be able to do something. There you
Okay, just give me a minute to set it up here. All right.
Oh, by the way, I love games. My son loves games. So, Masha, I don't know what you're thinking is.
Who doesn't? Right?
All right, can everybody see the screen?
Tribal Wars promo 4K.
Yes. Oh, that's the render. I had to render it in 4K for quality. And here we go.
Cool. Bantu Vision. Tribal Wars. Why don't you explain what's happening and what your goals are?
Sorry?
Why don't you explain what we're looking at and what your goals are?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I wanted to explain at the end of the clip, but that's fine. So basically we have these characters. Tribal Wars, basically you create, it's going to be an online based game where you're going to create a settlement. And in each settlement, you're going to start off either as the king or the queen of that settlement. And you have to like build a utopia of which other players will be able to log in as well and then create their own settlement. And then you have to attack their settlements and also defend your settlement. Basically, it's like a battle for land. More like how it was in Africa in pre-colonial times.
Okay.
Yeah. Should I finish off the clip? Where was I?
Yes, please.
I think we're after her. Yeah.
Yeah, so Richmond, what's inspired these characters that you have? I mean, I've looked at a lot of your trailers. What's behind the theme behind this?
Yes. So that is the. Where's the, did I lose them? Did I lose you? Oh,
Nope, we're
sorry.
waiting for you to say something.
Yeah, I was trying to hop back onto the. Oh my goodness, how do I get back on the? Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
I'm trying to stop the. Oh God. Why is it not? Okay, it's fine. So basically, that is the game as a whole. If you got any questions for me regarding it, so I could maybe clear up.
Yeah, so Richmond, you didn't mention, like, you said you're looking, maybe do you want to just mention the amount in Pulas so that I can translate it for you?
Yes, thank you so much. So it's a lot easier saying it in pulas. I need 500,000 pula in order to buy equipment and then get more people involved as well, because I'm going to need extra coders, extra graphic designers, and also we're going to need servers, because this is going to be an online game that's going to be running throughout, and a lot of data will be coming in and out.
Okay, cool. Masha, do you want to just like maybe give him insight on this? He does have a pitch deck. You are pre-launch, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right, cool. And maybe explain the reason why you haven't actually gone to market with this. I mean, the traction. What do you have any traction currently with any partnerships who've recognized your work or something like that?
Well, currently we're still developing the game. This is actually the first time we're sharing this clip to the rest of the world. But most of the people actually know that we're developing the game. We were invited by the Venture Capital for Africa, of which we had a mentor who helped us get with the whole registration process of the company documentations and all that, getting us nice and official, so that when the actual funding comes, we're actually ready to actually present them. Like, no, look, this is the company, and this is everything's registered, everything's trademarked.
Thank you. Where are you registered?
Botswana, SIPA.
Okay.
Yeah, basically you can just go on the SIPA website. It's open for all, and you can just Google Bantu Vision, and then you'll see my name there. So.
Thank you. Who was your VC for Africa mentor?
My mentor was Gamarelo. She's a lawyer by profession. Hence why she helped me sort out the legal issues.
That's so helpful. Yeah,
yes.
That can be really expensive.
Yes, because our main worry was that somebody might steal the idea and run with it, because what we've noticed that there's a big gap in the gaming industry for African content, but there is still that yearning for it. As you can see from the release of Black Panther, it was a major success globally, and now ever since then there's been nothing African content wise. All the gaming, it's all the Greek gods and all those, but nothing really African.
I saw one actually that's really wonderful. It's very similar to your level of quality. That I started working with their wonderful founder about just before COVID, and it's in a southeast Nigeria state, and his focus is on edutech, and so the game's designed to educate kids after engaging them. And their team, his wonderful young team, was so enthusiastic that as soon as COVID hit and they learned they were going to have to sequester themselves, they did so in the CEO's home. The CEO and his wife hosted like 23 people to live together for several months so they could continue the momentum of the game development. Isn't that exciting?
Yes, that's usually the best way to do it.
But we still, okay, so but they still don't have a clear path to revenue generation. So you can't really make a venture capital investment yet into their work. And so you heard me asking questions about current revenues from the AI company just before you. That's what we would have to have, is to see that you've got the game developed and that you have some revenues and a clear path to increase those revenues. So since you don't have that yet, you're more accurately matched with our angel network, which is, we call it the Afropreneurs Angel Group. And Kevin can link you into that when he gets on. He was just, if he's not on yet.
Wonderful.
And yeah, so that's, you see the difference between which kind of investor you need. The angels will work really closely with you at the very early stages to help you get to where you can create the revenue. And then once you've got some, then we help you scale it up.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
But,
really like infancy startup, right? Like we say, sometimes the best ideas are like, you get them while they're still virgin like this, and you help give them structure. So I think, Richmond, you're onto something big. I've said it to you a couple of times. You may just be in the wrong place right now, but I think with the right support system, you should be able to like quickly just launch. Like, I think the most important thing, as Marsha said, is just find a means of like pivoting or bootstrapping to a point where you just like get it out there and people start paying for it. It doesn't matter like where the revenue comes from. It goes back to what I said, right? Like this sort of platforms like games, they don't care about borders, right? You could get like some people in China buying and using this game because they just want to learn African culture, right? So I think we need to work on your go-to-market strategy. Maybe that should be your ask right now. Like, instead of finance, maybe look at like getting the support to go to market. Then I think once you're in the market, getting the money for like a gaming platform might actually be the easiest thing, right? So, but I'll pick this up with Kevin as well, since you're in the
yes, perfect.
and we
Thank
see what we can do.
Yeah.
All right.
And just please remember, if we do run out of time, we do have a link on our website that says apply here. And when you fill out that form, it will be able to help us vet very carefully, very quickly, which group should be looking at you, whether the angel group or the venture capital funds. So use that link and share that with all your friends that are entrepreneurs as well, please.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'm just sharing the link on the chat with everyone. I've just done that. For those
Thank you, Muketsi.
for those that haven't seen the site, I'm just going to share again on the screen. My screen should pop up and you should see a beautiful lady there.
Yes, she's one of ours, believe it or not. She is one of ours.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Is this Sarah, right? Is this Sarah?
No, it's not. It's Kemi.
Oh,
she
okay.
helps organize partnerships, strategic partnerships.
Oh, awesome. I got like Sarah helping me to make this happen. She was really helpful. Yeah, so guys,
good.
Just go through the site. It's quite simple. You just punch it there, you submit. Yeah, then now you will get a response, right? If it gets delayed, right?
We track the applications pathway so that everyone gets a response. Even if it's a no, that's helpful, because then you know not to just wait, and maybe you learn something that you could work on. Try again, right? The wonderful thing about these things like the game, you could, once you get that angel funding, and if you really focus on it, you could move very rapidly, because you built the foundation, for what you want to accomplish and what your characters and your plot and everything. So just get it done. And as long as you've got your market and you know how to go to market, that you could grow very quickly.
Yes, thank you. That's the goal.
Oh, we'd love to help you get there. Thank you for sharing.
Okay, yeah, sure. As a reminder, colleagues, like, you know, the idea is like not to present yourself as a single founder, because I just picked this, angels and VCs look for teams. Remember, it's extremely very hard to build a startup, right? You should ask someone like me, right? I had to fail like so many times until I said, look, I'm just gonna transition into something else, right? But failure is like good because it comes with experience. So I think, Masha, maybe like the emphasis on team, because I mean, some of the guys just listen to today, they need to know like team is the core point before the check actually comes, because nobody's gonna pay a single person like money, right? It's like if they wake up dead tomorrow morning or get hit by a train or lightning in Africa, right? It's like you just hear, yeah, look, we just wrote a check for $3 million, and the guy woke up and somebody in the village like just said he got hit by lightning. You know, these things happen in Africa, right? So I think
Exactly.
that's the whole sense of, hey, we need a team, right? Behind you. So,
And it not only reduces our risk in the regard of losing that one person, but it also to that person's ability to communicate their vision effectively to other people like themselves who are, entrepreneurial and aggressive in growth and promoting, and they can share the tasks, because an entrepreneur has to do everything from marketing to development to administration to registering companies to so that's why at least then when you have 4 or 5 people that are each doing multiple tasks, you get there a lot faster, right?
So colleagues, so this is a session as part of the Global Entrepreneurship Week. The idea is to inspire more startups to just be founded out of Botswana. We appreciate the Lofty team for coming in today. We've got almost 14 minutes left before we conclude. I know there's some ladies in the session. We probably want to hear something from the women, right?
That'd be great.
Let me stop sharing so we can like point out to some of the ladies. Yeah, Vanessa, my friend in Cape Town, right? So Vanessa is trying to transition into entrepreneurship. I think she's working on a fintech with a couple of colleagues. She's at the city of Cape Town. She's like, hey, look, she was telling me venture capital is the future, right? Yeah. So V, do you want to jump in and say a few words out of just what you have observed, and maybe talk to Marsha about what you're building? I mean, in Cape Town, that's where the magic is happening, right? Maybe we just want to hear from that. Yeah, and Lorraine, I know you guys on the call. She's gonna like ask you guys to just like say out something if you can.
Okay, thanks, Takere. Yes, hi, Marsha. Yes, I'm from South Africa, Cape Town. We've actually, me and the team, we're actually working on a prop tech application for which we've tried to start building just a minimal viable product and busy testing. But it's basically just a platform that offers more services to tenants, because we have a lot of apartment buildings and that. And so it's catering more for home-based services on an app, but also then linking service providers, which will also be on the other side of the app, where they could basically just also list their businesses and then supply their services to tenants in buildings. So yeah, it's called Stella, but yeah, it's basically just an enabling sort of application for suppliers on the one end and then tenants, but with a long-term view of going into smart contracts and linking with the property managers and other players in the property sector. And then obviously the model is obviously that the suppliers would obviously on a subscription basis be offering these services, which we would either charge monthly, and then any transacting and payments that happen on the platform basically take a percentage. So yeah, we've in Cape Town alone, there are many apartments, and it would be services, home decor, any category really. But then we would just also have data on the different apartments, who's living there, what services they gain through the platform, etc. So it's also early stage for us, because at this stage we're busy with the prototyping is almost complete, and we are actually still having to do our go-to-market strategy. Yeah, so that's where we're at the moment. But yeah, just in the PropTech space in terms of that.
Great. Yeah, I think there's a lot of need for that. Thank you for organizing the marketplace around those services for the tenants. I would imagine that your strength needs to be in helping them reach in order for you to not get cut out of the deal after introducing them, in order to take your share for the transactions. I imagine you'd need to be focusing on having a platform that's really easy to actually come to an agreement on before people meet. So that means you'd have to have validation and pricing transparencies. Is that what you're thinking?
Yes, definitely that. There would be, validations brought in terms of the minute they log into the app, in terms of where they are, which apartments, etc. So, and the pricing and all those things would be stated up front with regards to that.
Right.
And then trying to link it with blockchain and smart contracts later on, because we would have a lot of data also with regards to that. So we're seeing how to then add value to the other stakeholders in the chain.
Yeah, good for you. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thanks a lot, Vanessa, for that. Keep building, as I say, right? Keep building, man. We need more females to build, tech companies. I'm just gonna ask you to look up Sweep South. I think if you model what Aisha Panda and the team did with Sweep South. I don't know if Marsha, do you know about them, right? You know about them, right? The Sweep South guys, they created like this platform that gets just this, we call them maids, like this housekeepers to register. And it's grown quite significantly. And now they're actually taking it to Lagos out of Cape Town. I mean, this is just like a husband and wife who created this. And they raised a significant amount of money. And they're now a great model of, hey, look, women can get into this and do it. And by background, Aisha is not even a tech person. And I found the story to be really inspirational from the Western Cape, is the Cape Town ecosystem. So I think, Vanessa, get in touch if you want. I can do an intro via LinkedIn for you to just sit with Aisha. I think what you're building as a marketplace can be leveraged out of what she's done. I know they've now created like a micro fund where they just want to give back to fellow founders, particularly females, just out of the success they had, which was quick and in a very short period of time, right? Yeah, cool. Let me just pick if we...
That sounds like a great next step for you, Vanessa.
Yes, I think I'll definitely take up Kitsi on that offer. Thanks. But I also just wanted to inquire in terms of LoftyInc. Is property a sector that you invest in, or is it only education and the ones we saw earlier on in the presentation? Just for my partners.
Yeah, no, our two key screens are tech-driven ventures that are solving a large problem, and African founder teams. Those are top. And of course, having revenue generation for the stage.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Vanessa. I think you had sector agnostic, impact, right? Scale, disruptive, 55 African countries. So I think let's think that way, right? So yeah, sure. So
Yeah,
Greg,
so we don't put, you can imagine that property could cost a lot of money and tie up a lot of funds. And we don't have a lot of funds relative to other venture capital funds. We're very tiny, called a micro fund. So we leverage that by investing in low cost business growth. So your business would be great. Because you just have the cost of development and marketing primarily, but we wouldn't be buying any properties, real estate. You see the difference?
Yes, I wasn't thinking in terms of real estate, but you did say that the startup would obviously have to show that they have gone to market and they've made profits. Before anyone can approach your fund, right?
Yes, right. The angels might expect. What we expect, though, with our angels is that there's local support, people who know you and know your local market, who support your work, even if it's a small way. That'll help build your credibility and validation as a founder.
yeah, actually, I'm gonna introduce her to Alexander Fraser because they run Dazzle Angels in Cape Town. She's based in Cape Town, so
Perfect.
yeah, and she's actually.
Did you say Dazzle? You said Dazzle?
Yeah, Dazzle.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
Dazzle.
Hannah. Yeah, those gals are wonderful.
Right. So yeah, so I think I'll pick it up with her on that. She's connected to me. Yeah, so Lorraine, there you go. We're gonna just conclude with Lorraine. Yeah, so Masha, we're speaking about like, hey, look, this doesn't happen where there's a talent pipeline. So Lorraine is from one of the leading colleges in Botswana, which is actually focused on business and IT, computer science. So she's a great fan of the Global Entrepreneurship Network. Yeah, and I think she's trying to transition into entrepreneur or investor. I don't know. She just came back from the US, right? Where she just I think she was doing something there. So Lorraine, just let me introduce you to Masha, just so she could know like a little bit about your thinking and what we can do. Because I think Kevin might just require a pull. Well, I believe like startups don't come from like the streets, That's why I don't like people packaging insects and worms, right? Because like I always get confused. Like I saw one of the banks this morning issuing confusing, you might actually like this. So I saw this, there was a competition this morning, right? And then there was like these guys packaging this worms and these insects and this natural oils, and they have to compete with somebody building like a tech startup. And the matrix of evaluation is the same. And I was like, what a bunch of BS, right? So I think we want to get the storyline correctly in terms of understanding that, startups or tech-driven ventures are never going to be evaluated the same way like somebody packaging insects in the middle of the bush in Botswana, right? And you want to have like assume that these companies need the same type of instrument of financing, right? So I think we need to get that straight. But obviously, like, where do these people come from, right? They come from the universities, right? I believe that, like, if you look at it, right, the people that can identify the problems quicker, they should be able to pick them while they're at varsity, because that's where the energy is. Like, look at Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
So we need to get this fixed.
Okay. I'm sorry to cut you short here, but we're running out of time. So maybe Lorraine can share. Does Lorraine want to share her business with us?
Hi, Marsha. Hi, everyone on the stage. Thank you so much for the introduction, Mokitsi. I am really I'm overseeing the student support and welfare department, and work for Botswana Accountancy College, and we are basically grooming our students to become entrepreneurs, and not only to be employed by different companies, but we just try to groom them to become self-sufficient. And we encourage them to like do internships before they graduate. And so it's great to be in touch with the opportunities for startups and to be able to lead them in the right path. I myself, you know, I'm a budding entrepreneur and not necessarily a tech person, but, you know, I'm looking at the different opportunities that are out there. So this has been a great, you know, eye-opening webinar for me. And it's getting me thinking because I want to go into real estate. So that's my area of business that I want to venture into.
What does that mean, go into real estate?
Well, I want to own properties and own a real estate company.
A development, real estate development company?
Yes.
Okay, so you're aware that that's high prices,
Yes.
high finance, right?
Mhm.
Okay, good, wonderful.
Yeah, Marsha, remember we've got a wealthy group of people in Botswana. So
Yay, I'm so glad to hear it.
Yeah, the diamond. So I need to talk to Kevin about asking Lorraine to invest in like tech, right? You see the storyline, Marsha, like we need to convince people like Lorraine to see like the tech as an asset class, right? Because most of them like have not picked it. So I think we've got a great opportunity to even build more Afropreneurs in Botswana because they have the capital. And I think Lorraine, like at a minimum, like, look, if I was you, like to spread your risk in like 10 startups, trust me, ask Marsha, your return can be 10x in a short period of time, right? But you have to be patient.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just like property. I think in property, there is no like quick return, right? You have to be patient. So I think like consider like balancing the option on this. So I see you as an angel investor, like talking to someone.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand Lorraine's background. Yeah, that's perfect. Exactly, that she'd be an angel investor and she'd be able to help the angel network choose which which tech founder, tech business might best help a real estate focused investor like herself. So, you know,
Yeah.
we would come to you to ask what you think about Vanessa's business.
Exactly. Yes.
And to make the introductions.
Right. That's
Brilliant.
right.
So you see what you've got there is this wonderful ecosystem coalescing around your shared goals.
Yes. That's wonderful. Yes, I really, I'm very much interested in what Vanessa is doing.
Super. Be wonderful. If you and Dazzle Angels can collaborate, because they've got the experience of setting up these smaller tech companies, but you could help with that as well, and then get them to a level where we can introduce them to venture capital funds like ours. We often will invest as a team of venture funds that want to help with African development, you know. So often the global funds will come to us because we've got more of the on the ground expertise and background.
Oh, awesome. Thanks a lot, colleagues. We just like are 2 minutes out of our scheduled time. I don't want to keep Marsha long, but I think like Lorraine, what I'm going to do as an action item, just assure you that we are actually hosting Alex Fraser, who's like the president of the president of the Africa Business Angels Network for Southern Africa in Botswana on January the 28th on a demo day. So, and she's actually running Daisy Angel. So I'll connect you with her as well, so we can see how we can transition you from, you know, into an angel, right? It's a very easy process, Marsha. No, and I'll also give you like Marsha on LinkedIn in case you want to see her story, like how she transitioned into it, how she did it. And of course, like I think you can even make your first bet in investment into a company like Vanessa. So I'll connect the two of you to have a conversation around what you guys can do. So yeah, this is why we want to connect people. And obviously we will also, I think, when Kevin comes to Botswana, think around like, how do we sit with a few angels who want to be part of Afropreneur Fund of Angels? So I'll invite you to that. Yeah, and then obviously as well, we're scouting for great founders. So yeah, so colleagues, let me thank you for making time today. And just ask Marsha to give us like last words, and then we can just jump off the call and enjoy the rest of our evening.
Right, and Lorraine, and Moketsi, you're both absolutely correct in kind of focusing the early stages of deal flow around universities.
Yes, that I'm excited. You know, it's always very fulfilling just to see students transition from being a full-time student into becoming a very successful entrepreneur.
That's what happened with you know, Adela Flutterwave Aboyeji, 19-year-old attending a university in Canada on a scholarship. And that's why Silicon Valley grew up around universities like Stanford and Santa Clara. And that's why Y Combinator and 500 are there, and UCSF. Yeah. Where were you in the US? Well, we can take this offline, but Ohio.
Yeah,
Oh, that's unusual.
I know. I was in Ohio doing my doctorate.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to learn more. So do follow up with me.
Okay, I'll follow up with you offline.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you so much, Moketsi, and everyone for listening in. And we'll follow up with Kevin as well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, thanks everybody. That's it. Don't forget to follow the tweet, and this link has been recorded. It will be placed on our GEW Botswana page.
Oh, I see Lydia. Let Lydia say hello. She's our wonderful Chief Operating Officer in the Silicon Valley area. Lydia, are you there, dear? Yes. Lydia. Not sure what's going on there. Sorry, I saw her profile. I guess it's adieu then.
All right, thanks a lot, Masha. We appreciate on behalf of the week, and let's keep the energy going, and let's close in on those deals. We'll follow through and see what we can do. And colleagues, just for those that would like to listen back on this session, it's actually live on our Global Entrepreneurship Week Botswana page. It will also be placed on our YouTube channel, Moana Africa, which is our accelerator. Yeah, and please feel free to get in touch with me via WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and so on, and continue to spread the spirit of entrepreneurship and making things work for the continent of Africa. So that's it from me. Right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, all. Take care.